They're in the palace. Whoa.
Yeah, it was dirty. Well, back then, that's what you did. You could have sex with your daughter, I guess. Hold on, I'm looking up whether Conan... Because I think you're right in terms of... I remember the...
They go to the palace and they grab her, and they're all painted. And then when they're leaving, doesn't the blonde get... the James Earl Jones takes a snake and turns it into
an arrow. Yes, but they...
And then they...
I don't remember where the crucifixion happens. Like, does it happen after when he... does it happen on Little Christmas?
Little Christmas.
Part of the Conan
Christ
legend?
I remember
Jesus
him.
the Barbarian.
I remember him showing up in the like
Cimmerian. You were right. Cimmerian. Conan the Barbarian, also known as Conan the Cimmerian. 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 From the name of his homeland, Samaria.
Yeah.
Is a fictional character often associated with the fantasy, in particular low fantasy, sword and sorcery subgenre.
Low fantasy?
That's what they refer to it.
Wow.
I don't know what's low. That's some badass shit. I'm going to enter gold loses its luster. That was an awesome delivery of that one. Loses its luster. But I can't remember where it happens in relation to when they free the chick. Because Thulsa Doom, they free the...
Maybe he goes back after he kills the blonde and then he gets caught and then he finds them. I can't remember either. I remember him showing up in robes and stuff. And he looked kind of funny.
Oh, okay, here it is. Conan locates the cult and attempts to pose as a cult member. Because they're going in to steal the gold, I think. The wizard is pleased to hear this and... Wait. 3 thieves are offered a fortune by King Osric to return his daughter, seduced into joining the snake cult. Subutai and Valeria, Valeria is the Sandal Bergman, are uninterested in challenging Thulsa Doom, so Conan leaves his companions to pursue his family's killer. So that's why he wants to go, because Thulsa Doom killed his parents. It is in doing this that he happens upon a wizard who lives in reclusion, watching over the burial mounds of the dead. Conan is respectful of the wizard's status, and the two talk and converse as if old friends. Before he leaves, Conan asks the wizard if flowers grow anywhere around here, and the wizard tells him they do. Watching Conan as he leaves the next morning, the wizard shouts after him, inquiring who the flowers are for. Conan shouts back that the flowers are for a girl. The wizard is pleased to hear this and watches Conan depart, saying to himself, good. Wow, I remember the movie being way better than that. Conan locates the cult and attempts to pose as a cult member. I remember this scene by making a wreath of flowers. He's captured by Rexor and Thogrim, who recognize him as an infidel defiler. Conan is beaten and brought before Thulsa Doom. He explains to Conan that the destruction of his village was part of his pursuit of steel, which he once thought to be the key to power. Then they have that discussion. Then he puts him on the Tree of Woe. Near death, Conan is... They don't say anything about him biting the thing's head off, which is a great moment in that movie. Really left an impression as a kid, because you're sitting there going, that's fucking savage.
That's a man.
A man bites a fucking bird's head right the fuck off. Near death, Conan is rescued by Valeria and Subutai. They return him to the wizard Conan had met previously, and Valeria demands that the wizard save Conan's life. In response to this technique, the wizard tells Valeria that the gods would exact a terrible price on the one who asked for it, and she says she'll pay the gods.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's how she pays. The wizard does as she asks, and his spells ward away spirits and ensure Conan's survival.
That's what I thought, that he wrote all this lettering on his face, like
to go. Oh yeah, vertically. When he was laying there near death.
Yes,
and he's moaning while he's doing some throat singing and shit while he's writing on his face. He writes, "Put cock here" on his cheek with a little arrow to his mouth.
He's like, I love this joke.
As Conan's broken body heals, Valeria tells him that she would rise against death itself to fight by his side. Then the three return to rescue King Osric's daughter.
Yeah, and they're in the palace room and that music's playing.
Yeah, because they're having an orgy.
Yeah.
And remember, he tips the fucking bucket and all the heads fall out and
body
shit.
Parts.
And Thulsa Doom had turned into a snake.
Giant snake.
And escaped. And Conan went to drag his tail and couldn't get him.
Yeah.
And then they all take off, and that's when Thulsa Doom pulls a snake, turns it into an arrow, and shoots Valeria. And then I remember, as the fucking king's daughter is, bitching at him.
Yeah.
She's tied
She
up. She's
doesn't
like, he'll
wanna
come for me. He loves me.
Then they go to like almost like a Stonehenge. I remember they're in like they're waiting in this kind of Stonehenge-y kind of space.
Well, it
And-
says Thulsa Doom personally leads an expedition to recover the king's daughter, donning the same armor and helmet he wore when he was attacking Conan's childhood home. Conan and Subutai and the wizard successfully repel the attack. Conan manages to kill Thogrim. However, before he can strike and kill Conan, his blow is intercepted by the blade of an unknown sword. This is another dude, Rex.
which is
surprised by what he sees, the unknown assailant takes advantage of this and deals a blow to... And
It's
it's
what's
her,
her name?
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
the
she
assailant
comes
who
back
helped him
from
was
death.
Valeria, who has made good on her promise to come back from the dead to fight by his side. Conan knows, looking at her, she has become one of Crom's chosen, as she appears surrounded by a glowing aura.
Crom is the god of
Crom
steel.
is their god, yeah. That's who he prays to. He's always
Yeah.
like, Crom! And then, give me a bike for Christmas, please. And then it says...
Is that when he was a kid?
Yeah. Lil Conan.
Give me a wheel.
Crom. Get me off this fucking wheel. Give me a bike. Give me a big wheel, Crom. Conan follows Doom, appearing behind him as he preaches. Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
He's preaching to everybody,
He chops his head off.
and he attempts to hypnotize Conan by looking in his eyes and almost succeeds, but Conan manages to shake it off and then cuts Doom's head off with his father's broken sword.
And then he
And
shows
he tosses
the head.
He shows it. And then he tosses the head down the steps of the temple. And then his revenge is complete. Conan destroys the temple by burning it to the ground, and he departs with the princess to return her to the father.
Father.
And then the wizard,
Then it's like, now I can fuck my daughter.
yeah, he's like, as
you.
was the tradition in olden times, I can fuck her too. The
From
wizard,
one bad situation.
yeah, she's like, send me back to Doom. At least I wasn't related to him. Jesus, it sucks. What's your fucking story, Conan? He's like, I'll tell you my story. To crush my enemies, see them driven before me, and hear the lamentation of the women. The wizard, who has been narrating the story the entire time, states in the epilogue that Conan later went on to become a great king by his own hand.
He's
Remember,
like
there's that
sitting in a
picture of him
throne,
sitting on
yeah.
a throne? And then he added, but that is another story. And then Conan the Destroyer came
And that
out.
story was kind of lame.
It was bad. It was so terrible compared to fucking how awesome Conan was. Conan the Destroyer was terrible. Remember they did the callback where he's like, he saw a camel, and he's like, I'm sorry I hit you once, buddy.
Yeah.
And they spit at him again. He punched him even harder or
Yeah.
something. Oh, it was just so bad compared to the first one. And he fought that weird fucking terrible rubber monster.
Yeah.
Here we go. Crom, I have never prayed to you before. I have no tongue for it. No one, not even you, will remember if we were good men or bad, why we fought, or how we died. No. All that matters is that two stood against many. That's what's important. Important. Valor pleases you, Crom, so grant me one request. Grant me revenge. And if you do not listen, then to hell with you. Remember that?
It's like Conan the radio play.
I gotta find the line from the king. Here it is. There comes a time, thief, when the jewels cease to sparkle, when the gold loses its luster, when the throne becomes a prison, and all that is left is a father's love for his child. He's a good actor, man. Fucking Max von Sydow. He's awesome. Even in Strange Brew, he was awesome.
He's
Soon the whole world will become addicted to Elsinore beer. You came here with a mouse in a bottle. Here he goes, how ironic. You came here with a mouse in a bottle, now you are the mouse. It's a terrible looking line.
literally
But he really sold it. So anyway, how do we get to Conan?
because you were
the
using
wheel under the
slave
house.
labor.
What do you remember about your Christmas tree?